Okay, welcome back to my Marathon Mindset YouTube channel. Today I wanted to just to talk a little bit about the importance of disappointments and failures and how it can be very, very powerful to help propel you forward in the right direction. I'm hoping to get out on the road in the next few days. I'm still just watching a little bit of a calf niggle at the moment. It's an injury thing again. It's fairly subtle, but it's just enough for me to be worried about it. So in the next few days, hopefully we'll be out on the road, and I'm going to take my GoPro with me, and we'll do a little bit of a talk about a little training schedule we can do. It's a precursor to for people who have not been out on the road and run for a little while, and how just to build up again gradually, but we'll worry about that then. So I do hope to get out on the road as soon as possible. Anyway, disappointments. There is a power behind disappointments. Whenever you get something wrong, probably in everyday life, but certainly in running and most sports, if you can flip that mindset and embrace it and learn from it, it can really propel you forward. It's very powerful. Now, I'll probably mention this more than once, but disappointments are very powerful. Beating yourself up is destructive. And I know a lot of people that have gone out and run marathons or any race and come back and really been quite upset about the way it's gone. And some of them sometimes don't run again. It's a shame. I just want to digress slightly on the disappointment side of it. Michael Jordan is a stratospherically talented basketball player. It's fairly well documented, but I think he said that he had 9,000 shots at the basket, which he missed. He trusted himself to throw the winning shot, I think, in something like 300 different matches or something, or 300 times that he missed. And I also believe that he didn't even get into the basketball team at university originally. And look what happened. So, but his mindset, this is just one example, his mindset is if it hadn't have been for the disappointments, the mistakes he made, the things he got wrong, he wouldn't have learned how to win. And I think that's hugely, hugely important. So if you have any races or training runs that don't go your way, that you feel that you're not too happy with, sit down and think about it. Try and work out what went wrong. Embrace it. It's a bit like embracing injuries. As daft as it sounds, once you start to manage these situations and flip that mindset, then you can propel yourself forward. Uh, I've had my disappointments, and this is about you, not me, but I've got to tell you about what has happened to me in a way and the things that I've had to deal with, and there's been a few. I really have. If you're a multiple marathon runner and your training runs and your races, whatever, if you do a lot of them, you're going to have days when it doesn't happen for you. You're going to have days when it's brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and everything aligns, but that doesn't always happen. Now, I talked to some of the people that go down to the park run. My daughter and myself ran the park run a couple of weeks ago here in Somerset. She came over from Surrey, and we were talking to somebody afterwards. I think it was no, it was before the race started, the park run started, and it was about trying to target every single one every week as a PB. And I said to him, don't think about it, just stop. Maybe target one a month, or maybe two a month. Go and enjoy the other ones. And if those one or two a month that you target, it could be any race, but we're using a park run as an example, doesn't quite happen, well then walk away and go home, sit down and try and work out why. And take it on board. Flip that mindset. Say to yourself, right, okay, if I can work out why that happened, I can minimize the risk of that happening again, and I'll try again in 2 or 3 weeks. I think that is very, very important. I'm digressing slightly, but I'm just telling you how people do react to things that don't always go well, and you can be so much kinder on yourself. Now, I've written about this before. My very first experience of running a marathon was a disaster. It really did not go very well. I did okay in the position. I did all right. I was quite happy with the position, and the time was okay, but it certainly wasn't what I was capable of doing. But it was my first marathon, and I made all the mistakes under the sun that you could possibly make. Everything from training to diet to not getting enough sleep to being a bit cocky and silly on the day, thinking I knew all about it when I absolutely didn't. Boy, was that a learning curve for me and a rude awakening. After 16 miles, I started to experience things I'd never experienced in any race before. I finished it, but that was about it, and I was in a bit of trouble. So I can go on about that all day and what happened and everything. But what I'm trying to say to you is that my first experience wasn't a nice one, and it can go two ways. Either you think, well, I'm never going to run another one again. I hated it. That's it, me done. Or it's a glass half full again, isn't it? You think, okay, what happened? What went wrong? And the next marathon I ran, I improved my time by something like 12 minutes, and everything came right. I still hadn't stopped learning. I still made mistakes later on, but I don't want to waste too much time on that one. But what I'm trying to say to you is that mindset of thinking, okay, I'm going to try again. I'm not going to be beaten by this. Worked for me, and then 42 marathons later, I'm still going. So take that on board and try and flip that mindset. I mean, it really is how you deal with it that's so important. Disappointments are powerful. Beating yourself up is destructive, and I've seen that more than once, and it's probably in some cases ruined, I would say running careers, but ruined the sport for certain people because they've got so angry, so frustrated, so despondent, they've let it get to them. Do not beat yourself up. That's massively important. Now, I'm just going to briefly tell you about myself because I've been running for quite a long time now. I'm in my 60s, and I can go back to my very, very first competitive race that I ran many years ago as a 6-year-old boy. The first time that I ever ran against anybody from other schools. I was one of the fastest little sprinters in the school I was at, and when I was put on the big stage, but the local running track in my hometown back in New Zealand, a grass track with a 100-metre track, we all lined up, the clappers went, and off we went. And I think I came second to last. There was a battle between me and another boy not to come last. And the other runners, they just went, whew, they were gone. I was just in their wake. And that was my first ever experience of running competitively against other people from other schools. And funnily enough, at the time, I was disappointed, but I did not take it too much to heart. From a very early age, I seem to be able to sort of deal with these disappointments and just say, okay, it wasn't what I wanted, but life goes on. Even at little age. Now, I'm not trying to sort of blow my own trumpet here and make it sound like an arrogant video I'm putting out. I'm just telling you what happened. And from that moment on, right up until now, I've realized that disappointments can be powerful. And if you don't let it get to you too much, it can really propel you forward. Now, that little schoolboy, me at the time, went back the following year. I didn't win any races as a sprinter, but I think I came about 6th or 8th, so there was a slight improvement. And these little wins can help you move forward. Right, I would like to move on briefly to another race where I was 16, and we were at the track and field championships in New Zealand for my school, the school I went to. And this was out of the whole of New Zealand, the whole country. And I was in the road race team because they had the National Road Race Championships at the same time. And I happened to be on a par with another runner from one of our local high schools. There was a boy called Graham, and you couldn't separate us. There was a 1,500-metre race we had recently, and who knows who won. His coaches said he won, our coaches said I won. But there was a nose in it. It was probably half an inch to an inch. So I still don't know who won that race. But moving on to this road race, we were then after about 2,000 metres, we were first and second. I think he was first, I was second, but we were running together. And then all of a sudden I started to fatigue, and I thought, oh my God, what's happening here? And I just got more and more tired, and he kept going, and I started to drop back. And this was unusual because I wouldn't have normally done this, but this happened. And anyway, I started to drop back, and people started to pass me, and other guys in my team who I knew I could normally beat started to pass me. Then my younger brother, who's 2 years younger than me, he passed me, and I was absolutely done. That was it. I don't know what happened or what went wrong. Anyway, I think I came in something like 102nd. And this other lad, Graham, from our hometown, won the race. He came first. He was a national champion. And I thought, oh my goodness. So what happened? And to this very day, I still don't know. But the disappointment should have been huge. But I had to very quickly lick my wounds, compose myself, try and swat it to one side. I tried to work out what went wrong. I didn't know. and I was racing on the track the following day in the 3,000 meters. Okay, so I had to just get over it as quickly as possible, and I think all of these experiences have absolutely helped over the years. I ran the 3,000 meters. I didn't set the world alight. I came sixth, but I ran a time I probably would have expected to. So I was able to get back on the horse. Now, again, this isn't about me. This is about what you can do. I'm just telling you my experiences. So I was back on the horse. So these things that had gone wrong became disappointments, but they didn't become major traumas, if I can put it that way. It's a bit extreme. So over the years, and I've had a few with marathon running, uh, I've had to deal with. But if you can create that mindset where disappointments are powerful without beating yourself up, you will move forward. You'll get back on the horse. Now, all of us that run and race and train are going to have disappointments. You're going to have things that go wrong. You're going to have fantastic days where everything aligns. You've smashed your PB. You might have won your race, or you might have done something. I mean, not everybody has to be a winner. It doesn't matter, but you might have done something that was way, way above what you thought were your abilities, and you walk away thinking, oh boy, that was so good. But then the next time, it might not be. So you're going to get these disappointments. And I think it's just very important to try and use them to propel yourself forward. The dopamine levels drop when you have a disappointing race or a training run. I've had them myself many times. Uh, but the interesting I thought was that elite runners, Olympians, whoever, are very good at quickly getting over their disappointments and firing it in a direction that's going to help move them forward. It comes down to the glass being half empty, glass being half full. Uh, the brain actually calibrates things. When things go wrong, it can be the same if you're learning a musical instrument or whatever. When you make mistakes, you do things wrong, the brain sort of calibrates it. And it hurts the brain. It doesn't like it. So it basically tries to find a way of rectifying it and sorting it out. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but this is just very interesting stuff that I like to know about. I like to know how and why things work, not just that they do. So I'm lucky enough to know a couple of scientists, so we've done a bit of research on this. So I just wanted to say, without going on too much longer, embrace your disappointments, learn from them, take them on board, use them as harness the power, use them as something powerful to propel yourself forward. I've had runners before with our coaching, myself and the other coaches I work with, who have stormed off the track, walked off the track because it's not happening, or they're not at the front of the group if they're doing a training run, which is a training run, not a race. But it often happens, and it's not happening. I'm done, and off they go. And as a coach, you've got to try and bring them back, and try and sometimes you can't calm them down because they're so worked up. I mean, coaches are only human as well, but it's happened many times. I've seen runners run half marathons and storm off again. I shouldn't have run that. I knew I shouldn't. I haven't been well, and all of these excuses and things come out rather than just think, actually, you know what? I finished that. Considering I haven't been very well, I've got to be pretty pleased with that effort. So this is the flipping the mindset. I ran a marathon. Just another little story about myself again. Sorry. I ran the London Marathon a few years ago, and the temperature was 24.1. I think I got to, from what I remember. And so my time anyway, and probably a lot of others, but my time is 10 minutes slower than what it should have been. And my daughter came up to me afterwards and said, Dad, you must be disappointed. I said, disappointed? It was 24 degrees out there. I've run this time. I'm absolutely delighted. So this is the attitude that you kind of need to sort of instill into your brain. And if you can do this, you'll help you with your running considerably. You'll move forward. You won't take that big negative step back and start beating yourself up, and which I say is destructive. So the takeaway from this: embrace your disappointments, try and work out what went wrong, and use it as a real power to move yourself forward. Don't beat yourself up, because that is destructive and that will send you in the other direction. So I hope this helps. It's a bit of a lecture, but I think it's really, really important. I hope to get out on the road again at some stage. I've just been watching a little niggle actually, so again, another disappointment. So I'm hoping I'm getting over that, and I'm going to do a little bit of a training run, which I think could be useful for marathon runners or anybody really, as a precursor uh, to a foundation and then a build up of a marathon training schedule, which I think could be very helpful for people. So we'll work on that in a few days' time, hopefully. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this, just give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. So happy running, and I certainly hope this helps. Thanks for watching.